Up, protect your chains, and make sure your Broncos coverage isn't.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the In-COM-PLETE podcast, where Coast to Coast host provides you with news, coverage, and opinions of all things Denver Broncos, plus anything else that's on our minds. I am Ty, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and best friend, Kelly. Snow close. We were hoping that we would have given you guys 3 more episodes before we went into the offseason. We're only able to give you 1. Snow close. In case you didn't know, that's the name of this episode, Snow Close.
So, yeah, our season ends when the Denver Broncos do, and they ended their season on Sunday, so we end our season today.
Yep. We actually have our first comment very early on. Field goals.
For fuck's sake.
Yep, we agree with you. We agree with you, Kirk.
You have one fucking job as a kicker. Anyways.
But yes, so the initial plan was to hopefully cover a victory today, and then we would do a Super Bowl preview next week, and then we would just recap the Super Bowl win or loss. But sadly enough, as Kelly said, when Denver's season ends, our season ends. But I will, being the positive person I am, which might be one of the very few times I'm positive for this recap, I do have a cheers because I will say this. I even though this is something I don't normally do because this is a loss, but the fact of the matter is the Denver Broncos were one of the top 4 teams in the NFL this entire season. They were the runner-up of the AFC in a season where analysts, media reporters, outside media reporters, I'll say. Let's just say that there was not a lot of faith in the Broncos this season. And even as the season went on, it's been mentioned, the goalpost kept getting pushed further back and further back, yet we kept getting into that end zone. It's just we fell maybe 3 yards short of having that goalpost extended further and into the Super Bowl. So I'm still going to say we had a very successful season. We had the number 1 seed. We took the AFC West from the freaking Kansas City Chiefs. And we won a playoff game. That exceeded my expectations far beyond anything short of winning a Super Bowl. So on all those notes, cheers.
Cheers.
All right, time to be negative now. So we did lose the AFC Championship game. And I really think I'm kind of, in a sense, I'm kind of confused about how I feel about it because we were that close. The only thing that kind of like puts in the back of my head, it's the team we lost to that I'm not 100% thrilled about. In a way, because of the history over probably the last 20 years. And we'd only lost 1 playoff game at home. Actually, no, we've lost only 1 AFC Championship game at home back 20 years ago to the Steelers. So, like, we are invincible. We may not have Bo Nix, but we have the defense. Didn't have the running game, so sorry about that. But I think it was just the way we lost that game was frustrating. So, guess we should start with I'll start with the positives because this is only the fourth time we've had to cover a loss this season. Sadly enough, it came at the worst time. So, the only positives I really had, the second offensive drive, we had a 52-yard pass from Stidham to Mims that led to a 6-yard touchdown from Stidham to Sutton, which opened up the scoring. We were up 7-0. Seemed like we were on track. And then the only other positive I had was Crawshaw. For as many times as he punted, he averaged 51.5 yards per punt. 3 of those punts are pinned inside the 20. The only negative I would say was that 2 of the punts were touchbacks, which wasn't too bad given how New England's offense operated all game long for the most part. But yeah, I'm sorry. Those are the only 2 positives I have from the game. Me being the most positive person on this podcast. That's all I could come up with.
It was a very ugly game.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it had to do with we had no running game. Occasionally we got a spurt here and there. It just never solidified. I don't know what our O-line was doing because it sure as hell wasn't blocking.
Yep.
And, with the backup quarterback, we all believed in City. We all had his back, but there's still only so much a backup can do.
Right.
So there is a reason why he is the backup. There is a reason why Bo Nick starts over him. And I think once he made that very bad mistake, I don't think he got out of his head.
Yeah.
So, that's how then the weather hit and it was just ugly. The positive I saw is the defense really put a hurting on the Patriots because, I'd ask people all season, why does Drake Maye get all this love? Why does Caleb Williams get all this love? But Bo Nix is doing the same things and it doesn't matter, because he has a defense. Oh, because he has a defense. And I go, well, you're supposed to have a defense.
Yeah.
Brady always had a top 10 defense. That's why he was winning Super Bowls. So what do you mean he can't be a good quarterback because he has a defense? Well, obviously there's something good in him because only our defense won't win us a game. But our defense did, except for the one pass in the snow that set up their field goal. That one pass is really the only thing that they gave up that bothered me.
Right.
It would have been nice when Stidham did the backward pass and got the fumble, caused the fumble. If they would have held him to 3 there, but I mean, they were like on the 13-yard line.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to shut that down. So I would say my positive from the game was our defense locked them down. Yeah. I mean, they won with 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
In an AFC Championship game. And, they averaged 33 points a game. These motherfuckers only got 10 on us. And 7 were gifted by a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
So, the defense 100% answered the call of what they were supposed to do.
They sure did. And if you really think about it, if it weren't for that fumble setting up the short field, I mean, we could be talking about having 3 podcasts instead of 1. And I'll get to that play specifically in a moment. Yeah, the defense, kudos to them. Like, they did what they needed to do to win the game. But as Kelly always tells me, there are 3 what to the game?
Phases. There are 3 phases to this game. No, and I was Crush, I thought, had a great game punting and pinning them back and flipping the field on them because they couldn't move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even mind the 2 touchbacks because it's the light air in Denver and, the weather and the slippery ball and stuff like that. That doesn't even bother me. But our field goal unit, man, just
Yeah. actually, I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Yeah, win 3 phases. If we had just actually, you know what? We're gonna transition that right now.
Well,
Unless you had any.
I feel like even if we had won 2,
Mm,
because even if I give Willette the pass on the long one at the
mhm.
end of the half, he should have hit the other ones.
Yeah, the 45 one that got partially blocked.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So, unless you had any more good.
No.
All right,
No.
perfect. So this will be quick. Well, I'm not sure about bad and ugly, so we'll see about that. Will Lutz, I put him in the bad category. I didn't put him in the ugly category, and this is why. His 54-yard field goal towards the end of the first half, 50 plus field goals. I mean, granted, it's the thin Denver air. 54. We've seen a 64-yard field goal kicked.
The wind was like 15 miles per hour, 17 miles per hour. They kept reporting what the wind was.
Yeah, and I think that.
I can let that one go. That one I'm not worried about. That one, I think is a 50-50 ball.
Mm-hmm. But it was the 45-yard field goal that would have tied the game that was partially blocked. I don't think I can really excuse that one because he really. Now, was it a good play on? And I don't like giving them a lot of credit. Was it a good play on the Patriots side? Sure, he got just enough of it to impact it, but you gotta figure if your kicks are getting blocked, you gotta try to leave. And with how the snow and the wind was going, you gotta put some kind of like effort. I don't even want to say effort. It's hard to explain because the snow.
Gotta kick it high.
Yeah, kick it high. That's what I'm looking for. You gotta kick it high. Kick it high enough to where no one can tip it. And you have a chance because if you look at it, it looked like it was on the way there, and then it got tipped, and then it went zoo that way.
Well, I mean that's how block field goal. That's just how the football works. That stupid oval shape of the football. That's what it does. But you gotta make a safer kick than that.
Yeah.
And Will Lutz has to know that.
Yes. As a veteran, he has to know that.
As Will, yeah. I mean it.
I think I saw a stat. I saw a stat somewhere online that in the postseason he's like 60. I don't know if it was 68% on field goals in his career in the postseason. Like that's not good. That's horrible. No, that's horrible. Actually, really, if you think about it. But I'll have to double check that stat again. So I thought I'd throw that out there. I have a couple more, but I like to share the wealth. So you're up.
I've said this throughout all the playoffs
that
I was pissed at coaches who refused to take the points.
Oh, I put that. Whatever you're gonna talk about. Sorry, go ahead. I know where you're going with this.
I said it after the wild card games. I said it after the divisional games. And then the most conservative coach all of a sudden decides in a low scoring game where he has a defense to not take the early field goal and then run some bullshit crappy ass play to try and get the first down. So we walk away with no points. If we go up 10, which I know 7-10, not that, it's 2 scores, but by barely, I think Will Lutz isn't as pressured at the end of the half and maybe makes the 54-yarder.
Right.
But then if not, our defense had a bigger cushion. You take the points. I don't know what stupid analytic person has gotten into all these coordinators' fucking headphones and decided, no, don't take the points. I know it's not football where we're winning game 6-3 anymore, but Jesus Christ, we lost this game 10-7. Take the fucking points. You're supposed to be an offensive genius.
You would think so.
I mean, this is back with Hackett and Vance Joseph and who the fuck's the other one?
Vic Fangio.
Fangio, where I was screaming about football 101. In the playoff game, you take the points. The fuck are we doing?
All right.
And especially all season when you so conservative, won't open it up. Fucking screen pass after screen pass after screen pass. You are in the AFC Championship game. You have a 7-point lead. You can take another lead, and you fucking go for it.
You all can tell she's upset.
I was upset when he did it, and watching the game with Leo, and he's like, "No, I like that we go for it here. It's fine that we go for it here." Really? Is it? Is it fine that we go for it there?
All right. Here's how I saw it. Yes, you take the points. But here's another thing. It wasn't so much that they went for it on 4th and 1. It was the play design that was the most horrible thing. I had heard that they were just going to run it with Prentice or whoever. Like, perfect. That's fine. 4th and 1, go for it. But I think he got a little bit inside his head. And like, I need to call timeout and see like how because he saw the defense lined up. But the fact you call the timeout and you switch up the play to a bootleg to the weaker side of the field, that one made no sense to me. Like, you can't just bootleg. And granted, the whole left side offensive line got blown.
But Jared Stidham cannot.
Yeah. You can't put that much pressure on your backup quarterback to make that kind of play.
That early in the game.
So my issue with it was not the fact that they went for it, although I would have been perfectly okay if they kicked the points. It was the play design that was horrible.
I've been yelling for 3 weeks that you take the points.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to yell it at my own coach. You take the fucking points.
Yep.
If you lose by 4, fine. You lose by 4. But we lost by fucking 3.
Yep.
And gee, where could we have got that 3?
Where could have we gotten that 3? Oh, that's right. And after that 4th and 1, things just went completely downhill. All right. So while we're talking about taking points, I'm going to talk about possessions here because I know Jared Stidham was put in a very bad situation. Well,
No,
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. He wasn't really put in a bad situation. He was. It was just
this was his moment.
This was his
moment.
Mm-hmm. With that being said, he's been in the league.
Our offensive line has been really good all year.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a shutdown defense.
Yep.
All he had to do was not make a mistake.
Yep. And I put him under bad because of that one play that gave the Patriots 7 points. He's been in the league for 6-7 years. I think he was drafted in 2019. Yeah, 2019. So he's been in the league for a while. I don't understand the concept of him with I want to say it was like 2 Patriots in his face trying to throw it when you just mentioned it. They have a great defense. Stidham, just take the sack.
I mean, yeah, that one you had to take the sack. He dropped back too far and he was trapped. And his thought process went, I'll throw it away. But he didn't throw it high enough or far enough away. And it ended up going backwards instead of forward. And he thought he'd get an intentional grounding call. But when your pass goes backwards, it's a fumble.
Yep. Yeah. I
mean, it's like a rookie mistake. It's someone who hasn't played. He hadn't, they kept going. He hasn't started a game in 724 days. It's been 2 years since he started a game. He started the 2 games after Peyton benched Russell Wilson. So it's not like they were great games. And then the other 2 games he started were for the Raiders when they were, one of their many sucky seasons. They were playing the Chiefs and the Niners, and he had no shot of winning them. So he doesn't have a ton of experience. Now, he's a quarterback in the NFL. I'm sure he's a great quarterback, but it's a high pressure situation, and he made a mistake, and it was just a costly mistake. And he had his moment to come out and make film and just not fuck up. And that's just not what he did.
Exactly.
So, the people were right. Without Bo Nix, Denver doesn't stand much of a chance. But those are all the same people that have said all year, all season, that we're not winning because of Bo Nix.
Right.
But obviously we are, because Bo Nix would have won us that game. I have no doubt in my head.
Yeah, that's a huge narrative with Broncos Country. If Bo Nix had not gotten hurt, Denver wins that game.
Exactly. How the Patriots are playing, how the defense was playing, Bo Nix would have got us would have got one more touchdown, would have got us into field goal range. And I don't think he makes that big a mistake in the AFC Championship game. Absolutely. Not that Bo Nix is flawless, not that he hasn't made a mistake, not that he hasn't taken a sack when he could have thrown it away, not that he hasn't thrown an interception when he should have thrown it away, trying to force something. But I don't think in the AFC Championship game at this point in the season, Bo Nix makes that big of a mistake. I just don't.
Absolutely. You're not going to get any argument from me in that regards. Your turn. Sorry. Just trying to think.
Drops.
Yeah, drops are rarely.
I like Courtland Sutton, but he cannot continue to play if he can't catch a ball that catches his hands, that hits his hands. I don't care. It's just who do we trust to go to? Who?
I don't even know at this point. It's all basically a wild
Our best receiver the past 2 games has been Crumb. He's not even a receiver.
That's bad.
He can both passes thrown to him. He doesn't drop them. So I mean, it hurt that we didn't have a running back.
Right.
Maybe he's caught something. Sorry. I can't tell if it's a spider or. Well, I'm scared he's going to eat it and he's going to barf it back up.
I'm trying to think who. We don't have a running back.
Yeah, so maybe Bo Nix doesn't win that game because we can't establish the run. But without a run game and without our starting quarterback, we still only lost that game by 3 points. So, but I think we would have got some momentum and some movement going if some of those had to be catches.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at the stats. Like, we only got like something like 37 yards in the second half.
32.
32 yards in the second half. I mean, that's just not okay.
No.
And some of that, the throws weren't that bad. The receiver should have caught them.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been, this is something else I've harped on all season. You got to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be perfect balls in the NFL. I'm sorry.
Right. Womp.
So, we get 50 million back. Hopefully we go get somebody who can catch the ball.
Do I hear a Jalen Waddle? I'm just joking. It could be an option, so I'm just gonna say that. Third down offense. We were 4-14 on third down. And I know you
How many duty drops?
What's that?
How many duty drops?
Let's see. I don't know. But man, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit later, but like just our whole third down offense is just abysmal. Like I was reading a stat that we were the bottom 5 in the league.
And most of them are due to drops.
Most of them are due to drops.
And a lot of them are because Sean Payton's favorite call on 2nd and 10 is a goddamn bubble screen. And you know where they go? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
So we go from 2 to 10 to 3 and 13.
Shouldn't it be easier for the offense if we move forward, not backward? That's what I've last heard.
Sean Payton's the offensive genius. Won't give up play calling. He's so damn smart.
Ooh, and we have some things to talk about on that regards later. Let's see. What else do I have here? We talked about the second half offense. We're good there. Oh, wait, your call. I don't know why I decided I'm going to do another one out there.
I mean, that's all I really have. I mean, the Patriots didn't play a good game. I mean, they really didn't. Stop! Hey!
Hold that thought, folks. One thing that I will talk about, the Patriots.
Sorry, my cat has decided one of my pieces of furniture has suddenly become his scratching post. And I stuck a chair in front of it, and he just moves the chair. And it's a wood piece, so he's going to ruin it. So anyway,
no.
The Patriots didn't play a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't play a good game, and they sneak out with their 3 points and to go to the Super Bowl. And as ugly and as angry as some of those things in that game make me feel, the season's a win.
Yeah.
You have to think Bo Nix is kind of ahead of schedule.
Yes.
Sean Payton shot off his mouth at the beginning of the season and said, "This is a squad I could take to the Super Bowl." Everyone made fun of him. Everyone crucified him for that statement. We were one game away.
Yeah.
One field goal away.
Yeah.
And then again, if we had our starting quarterback, if we had our starting running back, maybe that game goes completely different. Maybe we are sitting here talking about we're going to a Super Bowl. Maybe just Bo Nix back because we beat the Bills without our running back. So, in the offseason, Dobbins comes back, starts to perform next year. But we got to get Bo Nix some weapons if he's going to continue to get better.
Absolutely.
And, if we do that, Denver's back up on the upswing. That this is the second year in a row we've been to the playoffs after our 8-year drought of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's our second winning season in a row. There's no reason why next season can't also be a winning season and successful. it's going to be hard. That schedule is going to slap us in the face being the number one in the AFC. But it's not like this season was easy. We had long travel. We had back-to-back travel. We faced both teams that were in the Super Bowl. At the time that we went up against the Cowboys, they were the number one offense. When we were facing the Texans, they were the number one defense. And it's not like we made the games easy on ourselves.
Right.
So, we get some money back because our tenure with Wilson's finally over.
That's a big woo!
Yeah. So, there's no reason not to be hopeful as a Bronco fan when there were years where it was like, damn, do we have to do this again? So, also, I really don't think we were prepared to go to the Super Bowl and face the Rams or the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And I'm not really that upset. I'm not going to watch another Denver Bronco blowout in the Super Bowl because I've watched 4 of them fuckers in my lifetime. And I'm okay not making it an even 5. And now when I look at the last 2, the one against the Niners and the Seahawks, the first 2 don't even look that bad.
Right.
Like especially the Giant one. The Giant one was always, oh my goodness, they got blown out. Now I look at it and go, a couple scores behind. It was no big deal. So I'm fine giving Bo Nix another year or 2 of development and getting some weapons in and getting in an entire system under Sean Payton that can actually go win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who says this year wasn't successful for the Broncos is wrong. And the flack that they got for drafting Bo Nix, the flack for starting Bo Nix, Caleb Williams loses his AFC or NFC championship game divisional game, and it's but great things are on the horizon for him. This is just a year 2 quarterback. He'll be great. Allen loses his, I don't know what number playoff game from the draft class of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, but Josh Allen is him. He's still the best thing ever. I just want to say the same thing about Bo Nix. Like his future is bright if it continues on this trajectory. Now, if there's an injury or, something goes way left or wrong, then no, but our quarterback carousel is over. Our coaching carousel is over. We got 2 winning seasons in a row, 2 trips to the playoffs, one, the second year with a playoff win. It feels good to be a Bronco fan again.
And to those that said we were going to be one and done in the playoffs,
we're not. We weren't.
No, we weren't.
So we earned that number 1 seed. And we got to the championship game, the AFC championship game. So, that's a lot of pluses.
There's a lot.
I mean, it's bitter how it ends. I hate the end of the season. And the Broncos have only won the Super Bowl 3 times. So in all the seasons, which we're over 40 now, of watching football, only 3 times has the best case scenario happened.
Right.
So, this is how the end of football feels.
Sad as it is.
But better than, all those teams that were in Cancun before the playoffs. I don't know why all these teams are going to Cancun. These are multimillionaires. They should be going like places like Bora Bora or the Serengeti or someplace much more better than Cancun. Yeah.
I have never seen Cancun, so I would not know, to be honest with you. Like, no, that's okay. But yeah, I would maybe we'll say go to Bora Bora. Like, welcome to Bora Bora. This is where your off season begins. Like, oh, okay. I mean, this is still nice, I guess. But yeah, definitely a successful season. I'm not mad
I mean,
about
only
it.
one team lifts the Lombardi. Only one
Yeah.
every season. 31 teams are disappointed. We're just one of those 31 this year.
Yeah. It also could be good because of historic reasons, because I know this could work the other way too, but if the Seahawks go on to win the Super Bowl, guess who will stand alone for most Super Bowl losses in NFL history?
The Patriots.
The Patriots. So.
Oh, thank goodness.
Been a tie with them for so long, and like, oh, that's right. When they lost that one to I think it was the Eagles in 2017, they tied with us. So almost a decade later, we haven't been to the Super Bowl. You've been to a couple. So if you lose this one, you'll stand alone tied with the Steelers for most Super Bowl wins, but you'll be standing alone for most Super Bowl losses. So take that as you will. But with all that said, is it time to go around the NFL? Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
All right. So
No?
I just realized we have Broncos news first before we go around the NFL.
Okay.
So you were talking about how Sean Payton is this genius offensive guru, play caller. After it was yesterday. I mean, he called all the plays, right? So you would think that. I mean, granted, he's the head coach, so that would come down to the owners. But given how the offense had performed this season, it seemed someone was going to be a scapegoat. In this case, two members of the offensive staff were the scapegoats, in a sense. The biggest one, and I feel really bad about this because I didn't even know he was our offensive coordinator, because I guess it was just such a quiet thing that happened, and then plus Sean Payton does all the play calling. But the Broncos fired Joe Lombardi. Broncos were middle of the pack in offensive production, but were near last on 3 and outs. That's the stat I was looking at. 25% of their drives ended in 3 and outs. And this is something I wanted to talk to you about. If Sean Payton is calling the plays, they lose this game. Why is Joe Lombardi the one that has to go?
I don't know. I don't know what his job is if he's not calling plays.
Exactly. That's what I want to know.
I mean, it would be interesting to spend a couple weeks inside a team that like really breaks down what these people do.
Mm-hmm.
Like Vance Joseph, we always give credit when the defense is good, and we say that he's calling the game, that he's calling the defense and lining it up. Right. So when the defense sucks, we blame Vance Joseph because they're not stopping anybody.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's always been what I thought coordinators do, that's their job, but the heck, and it was a big deal when I first started watching football that quarterbacks would call their own plays. And that's just unheard of anymore. But like, I remember the years Elway called his own plays. Like the wristband with the play calls on it, the quarterbacks were calling, and the quarterbacks were looking and deciding what they were going to play because they read defenses.
Yeah.
And I'm almost surprised, and it always shocked me that Peyton didn't really call plays.
Right.
Now
Wait,
he does.
Are we talking Sean Payton or Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning.
Okay. Gotcha. Right.
Now I know he was always allowed to audible out because he could read a defense and he would change the call.
Right.
But And a lot of people in football have talked about this, that quarterbacks are not as smart anymore. They're not taught to read defenses. They're not given, they don't have that capacity anymore. A lot of it because with the NIL money, no one stays anywhere to be coached by the same people and taught an entire system of football. Older quarterbacks talk, have been very vocal about how they talk to younger quarterbacks and they don't know anything. That, you cannot stop and ask these quarterbacks questions that the older quarterbacks, going through school and trying to come up in the pros, like they were quizzed and had to know things. So I don't know what Joe Lombardi's job was if it wasn't to call plays. I don't know what he was doing that Sean Payton could go, oh, it's your fault.
Right.
So, but that would be intriguing if someone could break down, because then you have linebacker coaches and you have quarterback coaches and you have, each position has a coach too. Now, I've always assumed that they're at practice and trying to work on your technique and following up with your nutrition and watching your weight and stuff like that. But I have always been under the impression, and I might be very mistaken, the head coach is like for challenges and timeouts and things like that. But you have your defensive coordinators running the defense and you have offensive coordinators running the offense.
Mm-hmm.
And like the head coach gets to say, no, we're going for it here. We dial something up. But Sean Payton has been very vocal that he's calling these plays. And that's why I blame Sean Payton, because, so I don't know what Lombardi's job was that Sean Payton could look at him and go, hey, it's your fault. It's your fault I'm calling these plays. It's your fault I'm calling 10 bubble screens a game. I have no idea how that conversation went down. And Lombardi kind of surprises me because he was with Payton in, I made the joke very early that we're no longer the Broncos, we're the Sinners, because these are all past Saints. So, I want to say he's one of the sinners. So I'm very shocked that he would become the scapegoat. But, to me, that's kind of what it is. Unless Sean Payton would like to, give me a dissertation on what the coordinator's job is when you're the one calling the plays.
Mm-hmm.
And not running the ball.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And the article I read, the last paragraph is the most damaging, that says, it's possible Davis Webb or one of the other lower coordinators gets promoted from within, which would be great. But it's not a job that people want because they're not going to be able to call plays.
Right.
And Payton is very clear. I'm going to continue to call the plays. So it's not a good job to have. And especially like this, if you're going to get blamed when it's Payton saying, screen.
Yeah. One of the big article towards the end that you were mentioning, there is rumblings that Davis Webb could be promoted to offensive coordinator, but question is, would Davis Webb want that if it's really Sean Payton that's calling the plays?
I mean, that's what I just said. No one wants a job if they don't get to call the plays.
And it would be such a shame because Davis Webb has played such a huge part in the current development of Bo Nix. And if we lose him, I would be afraid unless we hire an offensive coordinator or get a quarterback's coach that can do the same amount of work or maybe even a little bit better than what Davis Webb is doing. It's just not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. One thing I want to add on top of that is that the Broncos also, or I guess Sean Payton, fired wide receiver coach Kerry Colbert and cornerbacks coach Addison Lynch. The wide receiver coach firing does not surprise me because as you mentioned earlier, the receivers and them dropping
They
the
don't
damn
receive
balls.
nothing.
Yeah, they're not doing a whole lot of receiving there. But the quarterbacks coach kind of surprised me. But one thought process was the development of Riley Moss this year. And they had said something that it took Riley Moss himself going into practice with boxing gloves to making sure that he's not.
Did that really happen? I know he said, I'm going to tape the gloves on to learn not to grab.
From
But-
what I'm hearing, it did happen.
Yeah, but this, I'm hearing, okay, great.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hearsay. Like we don't know what. I mean, that's what I say. We don't know what goes on, and I've listened to enough former players that go, "Oh, you guys think you know, and you don't know. You don't know how hard it is. You don't know how long we're sitting in meetings. You don't know how much film we're looking at." Some of the things that Gronk says that Belichick called him out on, and held his feet to the fire in the meetings. I mean, just sounds atrocious. Just sounds. Like the worst class you could ever be in, and it's just relentless. So, I'm surprised Peyton fired him and not, Vance coming out and going, we need someone better that can work with our cornerbacks. Because he did a really great job with Surtain.
Yeah.
Now, Surtain's a generational player because, his daddy was a good player. So, there might be a little bit more innate stuff there. But that's I like to see that there's trying to be some change and some growth versus all the years we were just stagnant and we rolled with the same people and we kept doing the same thing and we kept getting the same result. Right. So the OC kind of worries me because I really just don't know how that's going to shake out. I really think Sean Payton needs to give up play calling. He's got a young quarterback. He can develop him. He can teach him. He can give him all the wisdom. But I really think we need a younger OC that knows how to call something other than bubble screens.
Oh, absolutely.
And trick plays when all we got to do is run the ball. Give the ball to our fucking back and let him get the 2 yards. What the fuck is this double flea flicker bullshit at the worst possible time? Like no. And I know early in the season there were some really good play calls that the double curl call that and Bo Nix couldn't make the pass. I know Bo Nix kind of had to grow into it. So. But I just think that's always going to be room for friction if you want an offensive coordinator that doesn't get to call the plays.
Yep.
So, but I've complained about Vance Joseph and I've complained about his defense. I've complained about some of the who's getting burnt and where our guys are. And, if they're going to shake up some of the underlings, that's,
yeah,
it's fine. It happens.
It does. I'll actually tie that in a little bit to our Around the NFL portion of this segment because I want to talk about coaching hires. So I actually just realized that Sean Payton, I think, had a plan on what he wanted to do with offensive coordinator. His plan was to try to hire or wanted to hire Joe Brady as offensive coordinator. Perhaps even with Joe Brady calling the plays on offense. However, the Buffalo Bills said, nope, we are going to make sure he stays here and we're going to hire him as coach. So there were 4 head coaching hires happen. Joe Brady for the Bills, Jesse Minter with the Ravens, Mike McCarthy with the Steelers, and then today, Todd Monken with the Cleveland Browns. Out of these coaches, Jesse Minter makes sense. Also kind of glad he's out of the AFC West now, so you can go in the AFC North and cause havoc there. Joe Brady, I thought was strange because he and Sean McDermott run the same system. So basically, when Sean McDermott got fired, Brady basically just got a promotion. And it's going to be the same scheme. If that scheme wasn't working, why bring in the same guy?
Because Allen likes him, and the owner said that Josh Allen gets to pick the head coach.
Oh, I did miss that detail. Good to know then.
Or will heavily influence, however he worded it.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's a bad thing. I mean, Brady and Allen have worked together. He helped get Allen where he is, and over that 3-year hump where he was questionable, Allen likes him. And I don't think Allen has a problem with the scheme. So, Brady's not going to change all that much. It's not going to be a whole bunch of stuff for Allen to learn. I don't know. Bills fans were like, "What are you doing?" But it kind of makes sense if Allen said, "Oh, but this is my guy. This is who I like." I mean, we'll just have to see if it translates onto the field, because it's very hard to be a head coach when you've only worked one side of the ball.
Right.
So, we'll have to see. I don't understand the McCarthy hire in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to continue. Maybe they're 9-8 and 1-done in the playoffs. I really don't see that as an upgrade from Mike Tomlin. And they didn't seem to interview that many more people, so I'm very shocked at how that worked. Saleh got hired in Tennessee.
Robert Saleh did.
Saleh. I always say Saleh. Saleh. Which is fine. I like Saleh, but he's over there in the AFC South. Well,
Yeah.
when we got a while before that conference is more than just a fly in the playoffs. That has to get batted away at their home because of the stupid playoff setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know who the others are.
Todd Monken. Yeah, Todd Monken I've never heard before, so found that a very interesting hire.
We'll see.
Yeah. And so I think on that, I think it's now just the Raiders and the Cardinals that need to hire new coaches.
I just need the Raiders not to hire anyone good.
Yes. Oh, all right. So actually, let me double check to see if this is actually true. Okay, so going back to the whole Joe Lombardi thing, Joe Lombardi actually released a little bit of a statement on his firing. He said that Sean decided to move on. I don't think it's ever a surprise. You could tell he was in one. Hold on. Let me read this real quick before I even say anymore, because it just looks off. Felt like he's something just made to make sure, and like doing it again. I guess he decided one of those may have been around. That's really not. You know what? Forget. Oh, you know what? Okay, we'll go with it. Let's just go with it. So this is what Joe Lombardi said. Sean decided to move on. I don't think it's ever a surprise. You could tell he was in one of those moods where he felt like some changes need to be made, and I guess he decided one of those was me. I've been around him long enough to know to. Oh wait, I've been around him long enough to kind of read the tea leaves. That just doesn't seem like a quote from. It just seems off.
It doesn't sound like he's that upset.
Yeah, that's like one
okay. I've hung around Sean enough. He's upset. He's going to make a change. He decided it was me. Whatever. It just doesn't sound like he's upset. So, like I said, again, this is like my mock drafts. You can't play football on paper.
Right.
So all these coaches are going to have to go in. The new head coaches are going to have to sell their system and their process to these athletes that don't know them. They're going to have to get buy-in. They got to have owners and fan bases that grit their teeth through the growing pains of the process. We've seen many a head coach not last very long, being promoted from coordinators because they're just entirely different jobs. So, it'll continue,
Yeah.
When the season starts, we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. That's all I had around the NFL. If you had anything.
I just have the news that Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, that did happen yesterday, didn't it? And did you see all the fans and all the media and all the I don't want to say celebrity, all the athletes that were upset about it too? But sometimes things aren't handed to you on a silver platter, though.
Okay, so to be fair, there's a variety of things that could be the culprit.
Yeah, exactly.
One is the stupid new voting rules where you have to get 50 out of the 250 voters.
Yep.
Two is the push to get older guys in that deserve to be there but have been overlooked because we look through them of a lens of modern day football and not the era that they played in.
Mm-hmm.
Three is some people are eligible, but just barely because they weren't megastars. And if they don't get in right away, they fall off the ballot.
Right.
And we all know Belichick's name is going to pop up. They changed the rules so that coaches don't have to be retired for 5 years. They only have to be retired for 1 year. And I know some voters think that that's stupid. So they refuse to vote for coaches before 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably have some voters where Spygate disqualifies him from being the best. He's a cheater. Yeah. He's a known cheater. And in my opinion, he should be banished like Pete Rose is, but he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm, so, yeah, he's not going to be a first time. He's going to get into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think the voters will blackball him forever. Yeah. But really, the Hall of Fame needs to change some things about who gets in and who doesn't, and how many people get in a year. And if we're gonna do legacy ones where they should have been in, you just let them in. Stop. Oh well, we can only do 2 of them a year. Why? Why? Like, so some of the the pretended exclusivity. I mean, the NFL is already exclusive, right? We do the math all the time. Less than 500 people play in the NFL, right? 53 right. times 50 times 30 is, or 1,500. Sorry, not 500. 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little over 1,600 people if you count practice squad, and then when you put coaches in there, maybe it goes up to 3,000 people. I don't think there's that many. I don't think there's as many coaches as players, but but how many have played and had great careers, but you didn't give them the credit? Why is there a limit when we want to go back and fix that? And so, I always say the Hall of Fame, you're already dealing with, 1,500 people in the world's population is, hold on, I can't do that math in my head.
It's okay. What was the math again?
Is 0.00019% of people are in the NFL.
Gotcha.
And then the Hall of Fame is supposed to be the top 1% of that. So it's already an exclusive club.
Right.
You don't need to pretend it's more exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Just
yeah.
let in the people that deserve to be in. If we're looking 50 years down the road and go, oh, yeah, he really should be in the Hall of Fame, just put him in the damn Hall of Fame.
It'd be easier.
Instead of, well, we got to put it to a vote and then keep putting them on the ballot. Nope. After so many ballots, no more chances. Whatever.
Is that really how the NFL
So,
works now?
that's how it's always worked.
Oh, I didn't realize that they get a certain amount of votes on the ballot, or not votes, a certain number of times on the ballot before it's no good anymore.
Well, I don't know that there's a certain number, but as the years go on and more people are eligible,
Mm-hmm.
like you kind of drop off the radar.
Right. Excuse me. That's true. That's very true. Because I think baseball, I think it's what, after 10 times on the ballot, you're no longer eligible. I can't remember the exact number of rules. And I know
So
they
then
need
Bonds is just never going to be in the.
I don't know. See, I'll have to see how it all works out. I'll look later. But he Belichick's gonna get in. It's just, I found it really, not really funny, but that a lot of people were upset because, and the freaking Hall of Fame released a statement today about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many arguments why he's a shoo-in.
Mm-hmm.
There just is. And I know some people want to go, well, he was nothing without Brady. He is the one that put that system together, and he is the one would do your job and held those players to the fire and held them up to the standard and had the top 10 defense for Brady.
Right.
Had the running backs for Brady. Found the tight ends for Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Brady wasn't in those scouting rooms. I'm sorry, he wasn't.
Yep.
Everyone thinks he freaking walks on water and sunshines out of his ass, but there is a limit to what he did. And there's a limit to what he did on that field because he is 100% a system quarterback. And I've gone over these stats so many times about how his average pass in the playoffs is 7 fucking yards. You know, Brady very seldom had to actually play hero ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just steady. And so many times they got slop that they shouldn't have gotten. But it was just steady. And then it reached into the era where you couldn't breathe on them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there was the tech rule. And then, the era of pass interference. So all the time, it's not derogatory to say he's a system quarterback. Montana was a system quarterback. That West Coast offense that Bill Walsh put together put him in the perfect system where all they had to do was their job and not be a hero and not fuck up. And so, yeah, Brady didn't fuck up. But I know his last pass as a Patriot was an interception.
It was. Pick six, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I was going to say that too. A pick six was a pick six. So he wasn't perfect, but and if Sean Payton builds a system and Bo Nix becomes a system quarterback that goes and wins 3 or 4 Super Bowls, I don't give a shit. He's a system quarterback. Yes, he's a system quarterback. We found a coach with a system that works, and he put the gears in place, and they're rolling, motherfucker. There's nothing. I don't know why people find that so wrong. It's like a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people I know aren't people that are buying Lexuses and Mercedes for freaking Christmas presents without talking to their spouse and wrapping it in a big ass bow, right? They're
Right.
buying the Camrys and the Corollas and the Kias, and those cars work.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. The heater works. The defroster works. The radio fucking works. The navigation works in it. It's a fucking car. It's fine. There's a Honda sitting outside my place today. That's just the most beautiful color blue, and the body is real slick for it to be a Honda. It's fine. It doesn't have to be a fucking Rolls Royce or a Bugatti, because no one I know has the money for a Bugatti.
Oh gosh.
It's a car. It will run. It will go. It gets us there. I don't know why you can't just say, yes, Tom Brady was a system quarterback, and look how well that system worked. Joe Montana was a system quarterback. Look how well that system worked. And you're right. I'm upset because I'd be fine if it was a system that worked and kept getting me to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like all our houses. None of us are sitting in freaking castles. But we're warm. And our refrigerators work, so we got food.
Right.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's a success either way. So, Belichick does deserve the credit for that, but he did cheat, and that may, Barry Bonds didn't get into the Baseball Hall of Fame because the press doesn't like him because he was rude as shit.
Yeah.
Do you imagine that?
I'm checking something out. Let's see. Barry Bonds. Oh, here you go. Not occurring. Oh, Barry Bonds is not currently in the Baseball Hall of Fame after failing to receive the necessary 75% of votes during his. So it is 10 years on the Baseball Writers Association of America's ballot, ending in 2022. He's now reliant on the contemporary baseball era committee, which most recently did not elect him in late 2025. There you go.
And he's not in the Hall of Fame because he was rude to the press, and the press didn't like him, and the press got to vote on him. And for 10 years, the press said no. And so I don't know who the 250 voters of the NFL are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like there's a big audience, just like, I think John Elway's, when you get to go petition them, and it is storied that John Elway's speech, the guy stood up and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you John Elway." And that's all he had to say. John freaking Elway. Did you watch him? And Elway got in. I'm sure more was said. That's the story. And I feel like there's an audience where you could look at, where you could stand up and go, it's Bill fucking Belichick with his 7 Super Bowls and his 15-year run. But I think there's some, and I do think it's some other factors. I think there are some voters saying, the coach after 1 year, no, wait your 5 years. I think there are some people put off by Spygate. I think there's those NFL guys that don't get a lot of credit, and those voters go, you know what, let's boost them because Bill's going to keep coming back. Because there is no limit. I looked it up. There is no limit to the NFL thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen how they cycle through them. You can't keep up.
Right. Well, it works for so long.
Again, in my opinion, Mecklenburg should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's not. And when he comes up, it's just the people he's up against is just too big. And every year it gets bigger and bigger again, bigger and bigger against him. There's another Bronco. Rod Smith. I've
been pounding the table on that one.
Oh my God, Rod Smith should be in the Hall of Fame. But it gets harder and harder because pretty soon Gronk's going to be up there and Edelman's going to be, and it's going to be like, oh my God, let Rod Smith in the Hall of Fame. So I think there are some voters that legitimately go look at those people and go, these guys deserve some votes. So, overall, I just don't like the system. I don't, I think more the media guys should vote on the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't like the NFL Hall of Fame. And now that home dude's not delivering the news,
Did you say home dude?
I don't know his name. You'd recognize him anywhere because he's freaking huge. The guy that used to deliver the news. They used to wait for the knock in that crappy hotel.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Oh gosh, yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, what's his name? Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I just thought it funny you said home, like home dude.
Home
Like
dude.
that was like a
Home
great.
dude.
That's great. That was great.
Yeah. Now that he's not doing it, is it even worth hearing?
When did they stop doing that?
I know COVID. Well, I think it was a mixture of things. I know they stopped for COVID, for obvious reasons. I also think he got a little sick. And then they started this thing where other people can tell you. So, like, I mean, it's really sweet when I see Shannon. Shannon shows up to tell Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a really sweet moment, you know? So, sometimes it's, you know, I like the person delivering the news, and sometimes I'm like, they should be it should be the guy.
All right then. Well,
But
sorry
that's all
about
I
you.
had.
All right. All right. So, a few more housekeeping things before we do close out for the
David
regular
Baker.
season.
I thought his first name was David, but I thought his last name David Baker.
Dave. Oh, okay, that name does sound familiar. Oh, man, I wish he was doing it. Maybe someday. Hopefully. Super Bowl prediction: Patriots or Seahawks?
Seahawks by a lot.
Yeah, I think so too. Seahawks by 1 million, if I could. But
No, not a million, but
yeah, I think it's gonna be.
I think 3 scores.
Wow. So something like a 35-14.
At least 17. At least 17 points. At least 3 scores.
Okay. So
I mean, I know technically now 3 scores is 24 because you can go for 2, but
yeah,
y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, we get you. We get you. Yeah, I'm also going with Seattle. But what's going to be great though
is still 3 scores because even if you get 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions, that's still only 16. You still need a third score.
Yeah, exactly.
So at least by 17, at least by 3 scores.
Yep. And if Seattle does go on to win, former Broncos 2nd-round pick, and what possibly could have been our future Drew Lock will have a Super Bowl ring. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, because we traded Locke, Fant, and Shelby Harris
to Seattle for Wilson.
To Seattle. Locke's the only one still with the team.
Yeah.
Locke's not the starter, but I mean, he'll get a Super Bowl, and I guess that's something to say. Oh, yay! Look, you got your ring. Too bad it wasn't with us. I have no ill feelings towards Locke. I really thought Locke was going to be our guy, and I really tried to support him hard.
Oh, yeah. I think he became starter when we started this podcast too.
No, wasn't it Keenum?
It could have been Keenum. It could have been Case Keenum.
Bridgewater. I thought it took us a while to get to Locke.
It could have.
It had to because we traded Locke 2 years ago, right?
3 years ago we traded
3 years ago. Wait, 2 years of Bo Nix.
Then 2 years with Russell Wilson.
So
we traded him maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, so that was how many years did Drew Lock start?
He was drafted 2019. So yeah, I think that's around the time we started our podcast.
No, because we had our podcast when Bridgewater was named starter. Because I know. Drew Lock was not our first starting.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. I'm actually looking at it right now. So
because I had to keep reminding people the Denver Broncos had the first African American starter back in the freaking 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I corrected someone and said, this has already happened for the Broncos. I don't know why everyone's acting like this is history making. We actually made history a long time ago with this. And then someone said, well, not on opening day. Okay. That's a goalpost move if I've ever seen one.
Right. So yeah, it looks like he didn't start until like later on in 2019. His first start
he wasn't, because it was 2020 when I kept going. He's basically a rookie. Like I
Yeah.
pounded like, leave him alone. He's a rookie. A rookie's gonna rookie. I really thought Drew Lock would be our guy.
Right.
It was supposed to be Drew, and it wasn't. And I'm happy that it's Bo. I got no problem with Bo. But I'm not happy that I want the Seahawks to win, because I can hate the Seahawks because it's Super Bowl 48. That's usually the Super Bowl that will not be named. But and I'm floored at Darnold will be the first quarterback of the class of 2018 to win, because that 2018 is Allen, Lamar, Baker.
Yep.
Damn, that class has had it rough. But I just can't. I can't root for the Patriots. I can't. So if the only thing I got going is, oh, Drew Lock will get a Super Bowl ring, yay Drew, then that's what I got. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Alrighty. Yep. So
that's as silver as your lining's gonna get with the Super Bowl with me, because God, this was awful. I so wanted the Rams to win.
Yeah. But that's how the cookie crumbled, unfortunately. So now we have that. So the future, this was actually, well, I think we combined free agency and the draft into one podcast episode, right?
Probably.
Okay.
Unless something really drastic happens, because
yeah.
I mean, our draft, I'm not looking forward to our draft, because we draft really late.
30th overall.
No one's gonna like who we draft. And we're not even gonna know the people we draft. I mean, some random person will be like, oh yeah, he was born in Tennessee. Well, okay, great. I'm sorry. College football is really big, and now that they've ruined it with NIL money, like, so I watched someone have this debate. How do you even say where someone went to college?
Right.
Mendoza went to 3 of them.
Yep, he did.
And so everyone's going to say, well, you say Indiana because that's where he won, but that's not who built him.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. So, I don't even know why we bother with what school they come out of, because now they've hopped around like they're in the Greek islands. I don't know how any of them are getting degrees, because for us normal people, credits don't transfer like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
She's just saying. And then for agency, we'll see what happens with that, especially with all the with the Russell Wilson contract now off the books.
Money.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure some of it's going to go towards the extensions we've had, but there still should be plenty of money left. So, I think they mentioned in the presser that they're going to be spending in free agency. So, hopefully, we get someone big.
I need them to go act like John Elway did after Super Bowl 48 when he picked up Ward and Lieb and Ware.
Mm-hmm. And Sanders.
and Sanders. And when they go, you can't do that. I need them to. You didn't want me to scoop them up. You should have treated them better.
Yeah.
I need the Walter Penner group to
throw that money. Blank checkbooks. Blank checks, I
Well,
should say.
That's not allowed, but you
Yeah.
know,
That's fair.
someone do the salary cap math, because as we've been very clear, I can't do it. I don't get it. I can't carry the one. I don't know. I don't get it.
Let's see. Here we go. So it says here, estimates the Broncos will have roughly $34.38 million in salary cap space, which is the
that's
12th
not a
most.
lot.
Which is the 12th most. Some are projecting 27.45 million. But there's still like some numbers they have to add in there as well.
Yeah,
So
because they don't carry the one either. So yeah,
they don't carry the one either. Nope.
Oh, they have this much, but it really be this much. Spend the money, get the players, get the system. Peyton,
Yes.
build your system. I don't care if it's a machine. I don't care if it's a system. As long as it works, make it work.
Absolutely.
Now I'm Tim Gum on Project One Ray. Just make it work.
Go. Ready, go. But they're saying like if they end up with, they wouldn't be surprised if Denver has around $35 million in free agency. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, we will not. It's a sad part of it because this basically means we're done. Season's over. So for y'all seeing this scrolling, like we're live every Wednesday. After this Wednesday, the next time we're going to be live is probably after the draft. So we're going. We're going to go to. We're going to
off season.
It's our season. Kelly and I are going to Bora Bora, not Cancun.
Yeah, Bali somewhere. I'm not going to Cancun.
So, with that being said, we will let you know. What I think I'm going to try to do is just use the podcast Twitter to keep you all in the loop as far as what our plans are. And if there's any big news that pops up, we'll tweet it there. But as Kelly said, this is where we must bid adieu, at least until after the draft, which is, gosh, we probably won't see you guys for another February, March, 3 months. So it's gonna be an interesting 3 months. Don't forget us.
Well, it'll come in spurts. They haven't forgotten us in 7 years. They keep coming back.
Yes, they do keep coming back. So. But it was
you guys know this is how we do it. We are in season only because we're too far to get any scoops or you know, anything like that. And you know, everyone go, you know, it's vacation time.
Yeah.
For us, it's not our vacation. We you know, we have to focus on our, you know, real jobs.
Yep. But when you're not focusing on your real job, what's going to be your main focus since we're going to be done until May and then done until next season?
My real job. Like I just
outside your real job.
There's not much outside my real job. So, you know, I bought season tickets to the Cal Bears, but that's a football game, so that's not till September.
Cal Bears?
I do yeah, the Cal Bears.
I don't think I've ever heard of the Cal Bears.
The Rogers played for them. Yes, you have. Berkeley.
Oh,
University of California, Berkeley.
Duh.
Yes, you have. I don't know why.
Oh, you know why? You said it sounded like you said Cal Bears. I didn't even you said Cal Bears.
Okay. I don't know why the University of California at Berkeley goes by Cal more than Berkeley. They do. So, you know, I try to say the Berkeley part, but when I'm up on campus a lot, they refer to themselves as Cal, and I you know, all the emails, all the texts, you know, they're Cal Bears. I'm like, okay. you know, I am going to become an official Oakland Ballers fan.
Okay.
I have a 24 pack of tickets. Their season starts in May because I missed baseball. And after so many years of being an Oakland fan, the A's left me. And I've tried to like other teams, and I just can't because there's too much history.
With the A's.
Like just like I can't be another NFL fan. If the Broncos went away, like I hate the Patriots, and I hate the Seahawks, I hate the Niners, I hate the Raiders, I hate it's just too ingrained in me to suddenly be like, oh yeah, yay, team, I kind of try to be a Dodger fan because they're still a California team. And all I see is the 87 World Series. And it's like, I can't. I can't. They even had a pitcher named Kelly. And I was like, okay, I'm all in. Let's go, Kelly. And I couldn't do it. I tried the Padres and the same thing. Just, I don't really love you guys. Just
not the Angels either.
Not the Angels. I've never liked the Angels. Because they couldn't ever decide where they're from, and now they're the Los Angeles of Anaheim Angel. I don't know.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Yep.
Anaheim, yeah. I can't like the Yankees, and so I kind of said, well, maybe I can be a Red Sox fan because I hate the Yankees enough, and that didn't work out for me. I just can't. I can't. The first thing my dad ever said as a sports fan was, you have to pick a team. I picked my teams, and I've stayed with those teams. Like I said, I've been a sports fan over 40 years of my life now. To change now it just goes against
everything,
every fiber of my being. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to step back from the MLB and go all in on the Ballers.
I'm going to say you could have become a Phillies fan since the A's and the Phillies have a history together, but it's in your fiber of being, and it's totally understandable.
Yeah. I tried, and I just couldn't. I just, watching the games, and I'm like, I'm a bitter ex. My team left me, and, no one else gets a chance. So we're just going to change and go to another baseball group and
Sounds
be
good.
a baller. So I got 24 tickets to go see them throughout, May to September, I guess.
Nice.
So,
very, very nice. Let's see. Running. Focusing on which I'm gonna try to get back into basketball. Well, actually, I kind of started it, but slowly getting back to it. But also, with that being said, only two more weeks from this Saturday, pitchers and catchers report. So, which means Philly season, ready for my heart to be broken again. And then running, definitely getting back into photography again. So that's gonna be fun. And trying to come up with some new ideas for season 8. Of course, we haven't officially ended season 7 yet, but coming up with some ideas for season 8 for sure. So that is my plan for the off season. But of course, we'll be back when the draft is over and we can talk about some things. See if I can try to find a guest that can help break down everything with the draft, because as you know, we're not that great at it. And we bring in a Broncos draft expert. So a Broncos and a draft expert. So it should be fun. But the John Elway season was absolutely amazing. Couldn't have done it without you. We still have one episode left, as I keep saying. But yeah, our season's over and we move right into the off season. So we are going to miss you all for the possibly 3 months we're out, but we'll be back stronger than ever. And on that note, care to close us out?
We're gonna do the whole closeout.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, and until then, go Broncos. As always, you can find me at I Love to Leave on Twitter.
You can find me at TieFlyGuy15.
You can find us both at the same time.
In_com_plete_2.
It's the same handle on Instagram if you prefer the gram over X or Twitter. All those DMs are open. Even in the off season, we will get them. We can look at them. Send us your draft questions. Send us your thoughts. Send Ty your mock drafts. I'm not going to look at them. I've made that perfectly clear. If sliding into someone's DMs is not for you, you can email us at
in_com_plete@outlook.com. Well, I can't really say that we're live every Wednesday now, but during the season, we're live every Wednesday. 9:15 my time, 8:15, 7:15 Mountain Time, which most of you are from, and 6:15 Cali time. If you are unable to join us, which I completely understand, I will thank Kirk DeWinter 8133 for sending his comment in, because it was a great way to start the show. But I understand it's a school night, it's a work night. You guys are busy doing other things. We always have our audio version available, usually within 24 hours after we're done here. My only suggestion is that you leave 5 stars, which I understand sometimes you may not, because we are not everyone's cup of tea. Sometimes we are. Which I kind of finished already. Although that was more of like a on the rocks kind of thing. Non-alcoholic kind of rocks, I should say. Sorry. Distracted. But do leave reviews, leave suggestions on what you'd like to see changed, because we love doing this every year. We've done it for almost 7 years now. But if you don't tell us what you'd like to see changed, I can't help you. And as far as the mock drafts go, I probably will pull a Ron and give you all Fs. But that's kind of Ron's thing, so I'll look at them.
Okay.
I am no draft expert whatsoever, but I will do my best. Like, okay, if you at least hit our needs, good with me. If you throw some BS player, I'm like, nah, this ain't working for me. I'm sorry. But that's enough for one season, at least until we get to the off season. We'll miss you all, but we will see you all real soon. And until then, and until next time,
Go Broncos.